Buenas tardes en el amor de Dios. Good evening in God's love. We are now going to the AF3, Architectural Feature 3. We are going to talk about the toxic gas underground chambers. We have talked about them already. We're just going to show another perspective of them that haven't been explained until now. We must keep explaining things little by little so it can be all understood as a whole picture. We already explained that how the columns are configured, the weight, the place, how they manage and distribute weight. But the underground chambers of toxic gas in situ generated must be here in the balcony in all this zone. We also observed things that haven't been seen before, like the water valves that are there, just to let you understand the whole toxic gas system. There is the main water pass. There is the water that comes to here. This whole space is a toxic gas in situ generation system. Here is the emergency vent. You are hearing the neighbor coughing silently. Is a social gaslighting tactic. Right here is the emergency valve system. They had never used it as far as I know because it's very sealed. That doesn't come out. And this whole zone must be underground, the toxic gas chamber. We also discovered something that I can confirm with video that wasn't that way yesterday at 8 p.m. and until midnight no one came here. This happened somewhere between the morning. Someone sealed this tube that is there. It has already been explained. All right, let's explain something that is very critical to understand why this is so designed to be a mass personhood extermination site. Mass. I mean, this is not only one site. I mean, this is a massive depersonalization site. Well, we have this here. And now you will say, how it is possible to them do toxic gasing if the main recharging spot that is supposed to be this one is closed, sealed. And as a matter of fact, it is confirmed they used it, or someone used it, a recharge system last night at midnight. I mean, it's not any moment, it was last night at midnight. And it was a kind of toxic gas that must be released just before being used. We will explain that at the very end. For now, no. This is a kind of toxic gas, very particular toxic gas, that the only way it can be released is poured out just before use it, because it's very, very volatile. It evaporates very fast. And for the characteristic of the secondary effects that it causes, we know which gas is. It's not any gas. It's one very concrete gas that is very known for that secondary effect. All right. So if we have the main recharge spot system, how they are recharging the toxic gas chambers, this has been observed before. And now you need to see there. They have this quite covered. That house is very, very near. Very, very near. And if you see the terrain, just gravity is needed to pour something from there to there. Also, you need, for the nature of the toxic gasing and surveillance system that this house of tortures has and this Unbeing House has, you need someone surveilling what is happening 24 hours per day. This is not something that can be done by anyone. You need a toxic gas control panel system, and it cannot be far away. It is not here. I have checked the whole house. I cannot show the sections that are right now closed, but I can guarantee you The toxic gas control panel is not in this house. It's in that one. I'm trying to show better what they have there. By the way, they are mimicking each other with the lights they use here and here. All right. Look at this. I'm trying to show it. That is the balcony of the house. Well, why that matters? This house is also, all the houses of this street are designed by architects. They are not generic houses. Why, if you are designing a house from scratch, why would you make the balcony there just beside the other balcony? It's absolutely absurd. You want privacy, you want to be at quality time with your family. Why exactly there? That by itself calls the attention. Let's now talk about a little bit about the history of that house. It was built after this one, not one with other. And every time someone moves there, it is connected with the social gaslighting of this house. What happened with the owners before them? I think they sold it, but I am not sure. They were renting it first. They had an electrical system that worked 24 hours. And that is why this house that didn't have that feature could toxic gas 24 hours, even if there were power outages and no electricity came to the house. That was a very particular issue. How a house that doesn't have power plant could do toxic gassing if there is no there is no power energy to do it. You need someone to have it. But this house has a 24-hour energy plant moved by diesel. That is not normal in Puerto Rico. And they were the ones who energized the valves of this house for toxic gassing. That is why it can be assumed the control panel of the toxic gas torture system in this house is in that one. I had been inside that house before. I myself haven't seen anything irregular there. However, the technical detail of them being the only ones having 24 hours electricity power, able to power the toxic gas system of this one, well, that is revealing myself. Now, I want you to see the terrain. I mean, these are the toxic gas chamber system. This is the other house. You just need a pipe and gravity to pour everything from there. And it must be that way, especially what happened after what happened yesterday, last night, technically. Last night. Because the kind of gas they use, the only way it can be done is someone pouring it into the toxic gas chamber just before it was used. Wait for it. Now we are going to do something we usually don't do, and I won't speak what I'm doing it. We are going to walk into that zone. I won't speak. I just want you to see, except if I say something not related. I just wanted to see how nearby both plots are. Very, very nearby. Maybe there is something in the floor I haven't noticed before. We will check it down now. Here you can see how nearby the house is. Right? Very, very nearby. They are coughing exaggeratedly. I mean, just to describe the circumstances of these owners, they constantly gaslight with fabricated cough. You can get out of this house at 4 a.m. and there will be the male coughing exaggeratedly. They have children, as you will notice right now. You can get out at 11 p.m. in the same day, and he will be coughing exaggeratedly again. The use of coughing as social gaslighting has been constant for years. He smokes, and the freaking stink of smoke fills all this zone. But notice what I'm going to say now because it is important before going that zone. It has happened. The zone he does that is there. It has happened. Just to give you an illustration of how controlled the ventilations issues are here, it has happened that I am there. I am totally far away from the smoking point. There is no wine in that direction. It's actually the opposite. Or I am here, inside the marquesina, inside the garage, and I can feel the freaking smoke odor of the neighbor. That is not something that can happen by its own. It is deliberately fabricated. Now, I just want to let you see how near is the borderline of each plot. Please notice first, look how cared this is. In the first place, this shouldn't be a zone you need to access so frequently. Why would you have a whole stairs there? We'll keep going. That is burping. I was toxicated when I was in the room, and that is healed. Okay. Look how nearby they are. I will stop talking right now. Hi, perrito. Okay, these are 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. About 4 feet, this is the distance. This is gravity under there. I usually came here often. I don't do it since a long time ago. Voy, princesa. Voy, princesa. Of course, there is a pouring spot somewhere here, going straight over there. And it had been there since a long time. And that is why there is still toxic gazing happening while the recharge pipe here is completely sealed. As a matter of fact, we are going to explain this right now, although we were going to repeat it later. In the particular case of yesterday, toxic gazing that happened at midnight, that is a particular gas that is rarely used. Well, it happens that that particular gas needs salts to be mixed. And those salts can't be wet in the tube. They need to go straight forward, dry. What happens? I just corroborated in the last in the screenshot I did a little bit minutes ago, a little bit while ago. That pipe, I left it open since I discovered it with the crown in the feet. The progenitors left it open too. It was dry at the beginning, but I left it open. It became wet. That meant they could not use that pipe to throw down dry salts. It must be thrown from there, somewhere from here, from this point, there. And I just showed you how nearby these plots are. It is absolutely 100% sure there is another recharging point outwards. Vente, princesa. So, now you understand there are toxic gas tanks in situ, generating toxic gas in situ. In this balcony, there are 2 recharging points from toxic salts, tablets, whatever you need to put around in the tanks. One is there, and the other is somewhere there. Both are quite nearby, especially because, I mean, if you see the topography, it helps to the function. In the case of the neighbor house, is falling directly into the tanks. All right, that will be the end of video A3. Underground toxic gas chambers architectural feature. They're here.